Today I'm going to be doing my makeup. With this entire box of makeup, I'm decluttering. This thing is heavy. In my last video, I decluttered my entire makeup collection and ended up with a basket full of stuff I just don't use. So today I thought, why not use some of these products before I get rid of them? And I'm also giving away this entire box of makeup to one of you, so check out my last video for the entry details. So let's do a full face of makeup using products I'm getting rid of. Right, so first I'm going to carve out under my brows, and I have this concealer here from Nude by Nature. This is in the shade 05 Sand. I'm just decluttering this because it's a little bit too dark for me and I just don't use it, but I think it might be okay to do under my eyebrows. Maybe not. We will see. I also just find that this just creases on me. The color's actually not the worst now that I'm blending it out. So I don't love this, and I do have other concealers that I really like, so I thought, you know, why hold on to stuff that I'm just not using? This is definitely more of a natural coverage, and I'm also a full coverage girly, so I will just use this as my eyeshadow base as well. Hopefully I don't regret that decision. Right, we're gonna move on to primer next. I have got the Prime Perfection primer from Max and Louis. It is a New Zealand brand. At first I actually do like how this feels on the skin, but over time it just makes my makeup kind of slide around, especially around my T-zone. And I will say it is amazing at blurring, but because I have a little bit of an oilier skin type, it doesn't work that well for longevity. I also don't love how it feels on my fingers after. It just feels really slippy and greasy. It just makes me cringe a little bit. I was sure I had more foundations, but I actually don't know what I've done with them. So I've got another one from Max and Louis. This is the Clear Skin Airbrush Foundation. Again, it is a nice product. As I put it on, it glides really nicely over the primer, but again, it just doesn't last very long. And I find that it creases and separates on me pretty quickly. The colour's nice. I'm going to blend this in with my sponge. I think this goes on nicer with a sponge, and I mean, it does look really flawless once it's blended in, but it shears out quite a lot, and I do prefer more of a fuller coverage. This video may be a bad idea because it might entice me to put things back into my collection, which I do not need to do. If you saw my last video, it's still so full. I'm just going to go in with another layer, try and build up some of the coverage. This is actually looking really pretty, and now I'm second guessing my choices so far. So next up for bronzer, I've got this Maybelline Instant Eraser. I'm decluttering this just because it's just too warm for me. I have two of their concealer shades, which I absolutely love. So it's not because I hate the product, it's just because the shade does not match. I had to use this for an ad, and I was super limited with what colors I could get in New Zealand because they weren't able to send the product out. And unfortunately, it was a little bit too warm, but I think in the ad I like made it work. But yeah, it just does not work very well on my skin tone, especially at the moment when my tan is horribly wearing off. So hopefully we can make it work today. It's actually all not looking too bad, but we'll see. This is definitely more of a bronzer shade today as opposed to a contour. See, it's just super orange. It just does not look good. Oh dear. Oh, this is so bad. Hopefully we can fix this with concealer because I am orange. Right, moving along. For blush, I've got this Milani Cheek Kiss cream blush in the shade Coral Kiss. It is really pretty, don't get me wrong, but I have so many similar shades. I actually really do love the formula of these. I did keep some of their other more unique shades, but when you've got 6 other blushes that look identical, I thought it was probably best just to declutter some. It is such a stunning colour. I do also really like the bronzers of these that they do as well. For concealer, I've got one of the Maybelline Lifter Sticks. This is in the shade 05. I don't hate these. I did keep some of these for bronzer, but I just find them a little bit too thick for me personally. This color is actually probably a really good highlighter color. I prefer more of a thinner liquid, and then now that I say that, it's actually blending out really nicely. Am I just decluttering really good products? Because these are all looking like really lovely. I'm not gonna lie, my skin actually looks amazing, and now I am seriously second guessing every single product I have just decluttered. These products are definitely giving me more of like a natural everyday makeup vibe, but I actually kind of love it. So for face powder, we have got the What's Up Beauty Wind Dancer face powder. I actually love this. The shade is just a bit too dark for me. I've got the shade medium here. As you can see, it's just a little bit too yellow toned for me. So their light shade is perfect for me, which I've kept. I love how instantly blurring this is. Can you just see the difference? It's absolutely amazing. This isn't the most crease proof on me, but honestly, it is really pretty. So I don't mind using it when I'm not wearing makeup for a long period of time. It also has a mirror as well, which is really handy for travel. I'm not setting underneath my eyes just so when we do eyeshadow, if there's any fallout, I can clean it up. Now, I actually don't have a powder bronzer, so I'm going to use a shade from this Inglot eyeshadow palette. This is their Golden Gifts palette. It was limited edition for, I think, Christmas the year before. It is absolutely stunning. Now I'm second guessing if I want to get rid of this too, because it is really pretty. But I'm going to take this middle shade here, and I'm just going to use it as a powder bronzer, which it is working literally perfectly for. That's actually really handy as a multi-use palette. I've actually never thought of using it like that, but I suppose the more you know. I've accidentally dipped into some of the highlighter. Ignore that. I'll just have a sparkly forehead, it's fine. This colour is actually perfect as a bronzer. I am obsessed. That's actually looking so gorgeous. I am second guessing everything now. So for powder blush, I've got one from the Colourpop Beauty and the Beast collection. This is the Mrs. Potts blush. Again, gorgeous colour, but I have so many similar shades. It is really beautiful when applied though. It's so pretty. All of these are actually like turning into some faves, not gonna lie. It just gives such a pretty, healthy pink flush to the skin. It's actually perfect. Don't think about that one too much, Alex, because you might keep it. So next up for highlighter, I've got one from Sigma Beauty. This is their Savannah highlighter. Again, it's super pretty, but it's a little bit too dark for me. And I don't really wear gold highlighters too often. So I feel like someone else can get some love out of this. Oh, that shine though. I did keep some of their other shades that do suit me more, but I have to say I do love this. I didn't have any brow products that I wasn't putting in the giveaway, so I didn't want to open them to use them. So I'm going to move on to lips next. I lie, I have this Inglot Play In Brow Soap, but it's clear, so I'm just going to run it through my brows. I have already stuck my brow hairs down with the Pears Translucent Soap. But this is kind of nice just to add a little bit of separation to the hairs. I'm decluttering this because it sticks the hairs down, but it doesn't last more than a couple minutes. I have the world's most stubborn eyebrow hairs, so literally the only thing that works on them is the Pears Translucent Soap. I've hung on to this for a couple years too, so it is time to say goodbye. These are all of the lip liners I have decluttered. A lot of these were just similar shades or shades I never go for. I don't know what kind of eye look I'm going to do today, but I think I want to play it safe and do something nude. So I'm going to take this Colourpop So Juicy Plumping Lip Liner in the shade Westwood. I still have so many of these in my drawers, and a lot of the shades are quite similar, so I didn't really see a point keeping all of them. Overlined them just a little bit. So these are all matte lipsticks and just regular lipsticks that I have decluttered. We have quite a lot. Some of these are matte liquid lipsticks, blotted lips, lip stains, so I've got lots of choice. This shade from the Alice in Wonderland Wet n Wild collection is actually sticking up to me. It's a really pretty colour. Oh, it smells like peach. Oh, and it's a gloss. It's like a nudie gloss. That's actually really pretty. Tastes phenomenal. I actually do really like that shade too. That's quite unique. I think this might be going back to my collection. This video was not supposed to do that, but I don't actually have just like a standard pink gloss, so in the drawers it goes. You did not see me doing this. Okay, well, to add a product I'm actually decluttering, I've got this matte liquid lipstick from XO Beauty. This is in the shade Lucid. It's more of like an apricot nude, which isn't typically something I'd go for, but it is actually really pretty. And if you thought I was done with lip products, there's still more. I've got lip oils and treatments, and then more sparkly lip glosses. I had to be so cutthroat with my lip drawer. It was just the worst offender. As if my lips weren't already overloaded with product, we're gonna put more on. I have this peptide lip treatment from Enco Beauty. I actually do really like this. They are very hydrating. The only thing is it smells like coffee, and I don't love coffee, so I'm about to put it on my lips. But these are really nice if you do want a hydrating lip balm you can put on while you sleep. So if we're just focusing on formula, it is nice, but flavor wise, it's not my favorite. So I'm going to pass it on to someone else who enjoys coffee. So I decluttered quite a lot of my small eyeshadow palettes, which means I have a few options. I was thinking about doing something with blue or green today. So the Prismatic Pugilist palette from Game Beauty definitely has some blue shades. And the Expo Beauty Terracotta palette does also have some interesting blue shades. But then also I do really like the look of these pinky purpley shades in the Colourpop Bye Bye Birdie palette, so I am really stuck with what kind of look to do today. I think I'm just going to start taking some of the blues from the Game Beauty palette and we'll just see where we end up. I think a halo eye would be really pretty today because I haven't done one of those in a very long time. On a Sigma E42 brush, I'm going to pick up the shade Taking Aim, and I'm going to start by blending that into my crease and inner and outer corners, creating a circle shape. Next, on a Morphe M506 brush, I'm going to take the shade Sharpened Sonic, and I'm going to use that to diffuse that deeper blue, just being sure not to blend it too far into the eyebrow. Just keep the blend nice and controlled and work on creating a circular shape. Next, on a Sigma E27 brush, I'm going to take the shade Overtrip. And again, I'm going to use that to further feather out those blue shades, just keeping the blend nice and controlled. Next, on a Morphe M573 brush, I'm going to take the shade Not a Little Girl. And I'm just going to use that blue shade as my transition and blend it up towards the brow. I'm just taking a white shade from the Too Faced Teddy Bear palette, and I'm just using that on the very outer edge under my brow bone to brighten the edge up. Alright, my eyes are looking super blue. I'm going to go on and just carve the center of the lid out using my P. Louise paint. I'm not decluttering this, but it's one of the only base products I use for a cut crease, so I'm just going to quickly go and do that off camera. On the lid, I think I want to do like a white blue shade. I've got this Colourpop gel eyeshadow in the shade Super Cool. It has quite a pretty blue reflect to it, so I think it will be really pretty on the center of the halo. This has dried out, so I'm just patting it on, but actually it's working quite well even though it has dried out. I think because my base underneath is still a bit tacky, but I am just going to build that color up. This is a really pretty color. It is a shame that it has dried out because it is so gorgeous on the lid. On the lower lash line, I'm just taking all of those colors that I used on the top and blending them underneath in the same order. I'm just going to take that Super Cool gel eyeshadow that we used on the lid in my inner corner and under my brow bone. In the waterline, I'm going to take this Maybelline Tattoo Studio eyeliner in the shade Stardust Chrome. For mascara, we have another Maybelline product. This is the Maybelline Colossal Bubble Mascara. I'm decluttering this one because although I actually don't mind the formula and I like the wand, it just transfers so badly on me, and obviously I don't want my mascara to smudge all over my face during the day, so that's why I am decluttering this one. It makes the lashes look so good too, which is why it's such a shame that it smudges everywhere. I also found this glitter mascara from the Alice in Wonderland collection that Wet n Wild did, so for some extra sparkle I'm just going to put that on my lashes. I feel like that would be really fun for a festival. It is cute. I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but it is really pretty. So I'm just going to go and pop a lash on, and then we have one final product to complete the look. So here is a close-up of the eyes. I actually ended up putting a little bit of this glitter from Colourpop in the inner corner. If you know me, you know I hate glitter, but since we're decluttering it, I thought, why not use it one final time? And the last product I have to complete this full face of makeup I'm decluttering is setting spray. This is the Wet n Wild 24-hour matte finish setting spray. I love their natural one, and I have a couple of matte setting sprays already, so I thought I would just pass this on. This is a really good setting spray though. Now the makeup is locked in and not going anywhere. So this is a full face of makeup using products I'm getting rid of in 2026. Making an effort to go through my things and use stuff that I haven't used in a while was actually quite fun. There were so many products that I actually forgot how good they were, and now I'm questioning all of my choices. I think it's best that I don't look in that basket again, otherwise most of it might end up back in those drawers. Don't forget to check out my previous video where I decluttered all of that makeup, and there also is a giveaway. But I'm gonna finish the video off here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I think I should do some shop my stash videos and make more of an effort to use products from my collection, so let me know if you would like to see those. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you want to check out any other looks that I don't create here, check out my Instagram at makeupwithalex. All of my social medias are linked down below. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!